Welcome back to another Paragon Top 5 Plays. Remember to submit your clips to www.paragooners.com and don't forget that you can submit your replay ID instead of a link if it's easier for you. For next week, I'm gonna give away a Paragon Masters pack, so be sure to submit your plays for a chance to win.
5.
A big team fight is breaking out under the blue team's inhibitor as the enemy Gideon begins his ult. Muriel also decides to ult onto Gideon, hoping that her knockup comboed with Gideon's ult will be enough to kill the enemy team. Unfortunately for her, Interweb on Dekker has other plans. Dekker times her stasis bomb perfectly as Muriel lands, stunning her just in time, cancelling the knockup effect. It looks a lot easier when everything is slowed down, but trust me, this is no easy bit of skill. Beacon on Sparrow is pushing a tier 2, but the enemy team are having none of it as Feng Mao and Twinblast begin to take her down. Fortunately, Selwonk on Riktor spots the danger and manages to shockwave and ult just in time to save Beacon. The stun from Riktor's ultimate allows Sparrow to tear the enemy team to shreds. However, Grimm's GTFO locks onto the Beacon, but Selwonk reacts quickly to save Beacon for the second time.
3.
I've seen some inhibitors go down quite quickly, but none before the 4-minute mark. Gaidhlig and his allies decide to push a tier 1 tower as a group, while the enemy team have a similar plan. With all 5 heroes focusing the tower, it goes down with ease and they move on to the tier 2. The enemy team decide that their best play is to do exactly the same, but without the damage from their Kallari. This is a 4v5 race to the inhibitor. The second tower doesn't go down quite as quickly, but smart play from Riktor as he distracts the enemy minions, which means his own minions will also focus the tower, allowing it to go down quicker. They're now onto the inhibitor just after the 3-minute mark, while the enemy team are still on their tier 2. Kallari backs to try and defend the inhibitor, but it is of little use as even without Grux the inhibitor is still going to fall, and defending super minions at this stage of the game is so difficult. Gaidhlig's team ignore the Kallari as they focus the inhibitor and manage to take it down. Meanwhile, 3 players on the enemy team are trying to take down an inhibitor, but they have too little damage and Gaidhlig and his allies are able to fend them off before they lose their inhibitor.
2.
I think we can all agree that Dekker is in a really good place at the moment and Gideon's ult has never been better, and if you put the two together it's pretty much guaranteed destruction. 2 basic on Dekker and her allies are trying to drop off the Orb Prime but are met with some resistance. A wrong move here can cost either side the game. They begin poking at each other and Dekker lands a great stun onto Muriel. Kallari ults in as the Dekker containment fence goes down, trapping 4 enemies and dragging the Murdoch inside. The Gideon teleports into his ultimate and the initial pull and displacement from Grimm suck them all into his black hole with no chance of escaping, picking off every single enemy and securing a victory.
1.
Now this is old school Kallari that Zkrxspy sends off in style. The enemy team have taken the orb as Feng Mao is fighting Twinblast. Kallari comes in with a perfect dagger to the face. It's not over yet as the rest of the enemy team engage. Kallari dodges the steel ult as she, as all Kallari should do, goes to focus the enemy carries. She picks off Murdoch who has no way of escaping and steals the Orb Prime as 3 enemies chase her. She does a 180 and lands a perfect death sentence, killing 2 enemies instantly. The gadget gets one shot by Grimm and the Orb Prime buff is theirs for the taking. Congratulations to Zkrxspy for that great play, definitely sending off Kallari 1.0 in style and winning yourself a Paragon Challengers pack. This bonus clip from Lawless Panda is really cheeky as him and his allies wait in the shadow pad as an unsuspecting Riktor ventures out into his lane. The Feng Mao baits him further out and then the rest of his allies pounce, catching him in travel mode and taking him down with no chance of survival. That poor Riktor. I hope you enjoyed this week's Paragon Top 5 Plays. Remember to submit your clips to www.paragooners.com. A link will be in the description below. Until next time guys, peace.